tomorrow, will you?
Well, this is still Prime Morning. We are still here, and I hope that you're getting to interact with us on all our social media platforms. Well, it's time for Let's Talk Relationship. My name is Esia Dua Akomia. Last week, we started a very interesting conversation where a lady brought an issue to us concerning how her husband doesn't splurge on her or spend on her. And we had Reverend Nanayaa Prempeh, who gave us some really interesting nuggets. We also had Apostle Emmanuel Inkum from the Royal Place also joining us last week, and he shared same wisdom nuggets with us. Radiant Place Church. And so they are here again this morning, and it's going to be spectacular. Trust me. If you loved it last week, please get ready to be interactive with us on all our social media platforms. So what exactly we're going to talk about is the balancing responsibilities, financial responsibilities between married couples. Who is supposed to pay for what? Who is supposed to give what amount of money? A whole lot of people on social media say, oh, it has to be 50-50. Oh, it has to be 70-30. It has to be 100% on the man's side, and the woman just has to be on the enjoyment side. But what do you think it is? Well, we took it to the streets, and we asked a very important question, and that was, between a man and a woman, who is more stingy? Well, take a listen to this.
Okay, so between men and women, who do you think is more stingy?
Okay, according to my sister, she said the ladies.
The ladies are stingy.
Yeah.
I think comparing men to women, the stingy ones, I would say, is the women.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, why? Because, you see, when it comes to home running, it's the men that take care of so many things in the house. But you find out that women do hide their monies, and that they don't want the men to even know how much they have. You see, there was an instance where, a certain guy was, going to the house, entering the room. Then the woman was there just, counting the money, and as soon as he heard that the money was coming, he just put it under the bed and sat on it. You see, that shows clearly that the women are more stingy.
Me, I think use what you have to get what you want. Into me, Charles is saying, maybe by force I am my girlfriend. Oh, Charles, me trying my won't be some baby airtime answer mama. Me you say my before that by me so be choose over to airtime over jare. Ninja na me baba. So what you say? Into abanu say obanu so timi ya dia. Na ba ma no so timi ba ya dia.
Be ma dia ni tumi ya dimpa. Be ma tumi ya disema. Sana e ma so baku bi so ho a. Omuso omutisa.
Women are more stingy.
I didn't see women more stingy.
I did be a person who be my kwan we be as Casemona Janice be one person who be my kwan brena we until I'm so more stingy.
The more pepe pane me man. I didn't see more pepe. Because omu permanente like omuko we on omako we want dey nya from nchene nya dey ombema because omme chicha mamu nyina ne
bema pepe choba bema so bizarre be obeka say onu be dance no be ya de na ama anasa ababa ma wade na wo pe onu ho no
ntia no me pepe.
Well, so these are a few views that we got from the streets when we asked the very important question of man and woman, who is more stingy? It seems with a woman, the man would definitely and always be more stingy. But the men seem to have a very interesting perspective when it comes to the woman, saying that women love to keep their money and spend the man's money. Very interesting, isn't it? Well, my guests are seated this morning. I already did the introduction. Reverend Dr. Nanayaa Prempeh is here with us this morning. Hi, Rev. You look dashing. The kente is giving. The hair is giving. The colors is blended with your skin tone. You look beautiful.
Thank you. And so do you.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you again.
You too.
Apostle Emmanuel Income.
Yeah.
You're here with us again. Thank you so much.
It's exciting to be here again.
Yes.
You look amazing, like what Nana said.
Thank you very much.
Excited to be here.
Yes. How was the program you organized?
It was a very powerful meeting. What makes a difference in the meeting is Jesus.
Yes.
And the presence of the Lord.
Yes.
And he was there.
Yeah.
And the people were there to receive from him. That is, what we will thank God for.
Amen. We thank God for a successful event. And so we are going to talk about financial responsibilities, balancing it. Now, I want us to start from courtship. When you start having the discussion with the man or woman that you are about to be married to, talking about money, financial responsibilities, how really should that particular conversation go? Reverend Nanayaa, I want to start with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to everyone watching us on Joy Prime around the world.
Yeah.
And good morning to you, beautiful, and to you, my big brother. Okay, so in the Akan adage, there is a saying, say, ye beto swa, anka ye shewoma. Meaning that if you were gonna get a bonus, you would have already been filled up. You know, when you go to the market and you're buying like sugar, rice, I did that last week. They say, tusu. You know, so after they fill the cup and they heap it, then they can add.
Yes.
But if the cup is not full, how are you expecting a bonus? They can't even fill it for you. No, what's anything? Even you need credit to, you need credit to call the person. Nipa no see your door no. Uni sikakra wo de friend no. And also your own credit. Na onwa kasa no uni ndi do. Osi oniska. Osi your mouth. Iti credit no kra wo borrow.
Na who need credit how about the relationship?
Say man we
If a woman
go blind.
Have credit, that every time this one I had to just intercept.
No, don't intercept because
interestingly, women will just come and say, "I don't have credit." It is now immediately meet the man.
Yes.
It is now that my rent is due. My mother is sick. My village people are calling me.
Your village people.
I mean, you just enter into a relationship. This is courtship.
Yes.
And immediately you enter into it.
Yes.
All your wealth, what does not even exist, you create it. To be existence. What do you need credit from a man for?
Also for patriotism, my man landed.
Okay.
The musrana.
It seems some way.
But the point is
still. So this is the point where you have to be sending in your messages because it's already getting very interesting. You can share your experiences with us. So far, what Reverend Nanayaa has mentioned and Apostle Income have said. Well, what do you make of it? Our WhatsApp number is 055-157-5757 or our Facebook page, Joy Prime TV.
So I don't also condone women who are always asking for men. No, I don't condone it. I don't think it is the right thing because women, that is why we need economic empowerment for women.
That's true.
But, sir, one customer talk credit. And now dear friend Bema now or Dono. You called him severally. You run out of your credit.
Yeah.
Okay? Or maybe as you were talking, they said, you have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah.
So the 1 minute is gone and the call cuts. Naturally, romantically, sensibly, you are expecting the gentleman that was listening to your sweet talks to call you back.
Definitely.
And did the line drop? Oh no, I just ran out of credit. And also whenever you are told that you have one minute and you tell him, they said I have 1 minute. He can genuinely say, okay, just hang up and let me call you
back, yeah.
Or he will just do a mashup for you. But if you are self-sufficient as a woman, and you are talking to the man, and you run out of credit, or the call drops, the man should be able to send you a mashup or credit right away because it was him
without
you asking him, especially when you tell him that they just told you have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that is the kind of avenue that I'm going to. Not that the moment you meet a man, you start. No, that one is a big no-no.
Yeah.
That is a big no-no. The man does not need to come in your life immediately to be taking responsibility. Don't worry. It is only after you are married that you become his responsibility and he becomes your responsibility.
Right.
But when you are not married, stop behaving like married couples. And also, I believe that once there is a need and the man identifies or the woman identifies, I know women who are satisfying financial needs of the men they love.
That's true.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is love. And love is a two-way street. The right baits the left and the left baits the right. So when the woman is in love and she decides to help the man that she loves,
Society makes that to look like the woman is being foolish, excuse my language, or not being sensitive.
I agree because of experiences, because of precedents.
Right.
Many women have had experiences, and numerous women of men that they fall in love with, and they take over their responsibilities, their financial obligations. To the extent that they even sponsor them to universities, sponsor them to do their PhDs, their masters. And then when they are doing that masters, they'll go and impregnate another colleague of theirs, you know. So I don't know. Sometimes the men, I don't know if there's zip. We have to put a padlock there.
Apostle.
Operation put padlock.
Oh, I think it is.
I'm launching it today.
I think it's rather the opposite.
Okay.
Men are naturally responsible base creatures. And it started from the Garden of Eden. God created a man, and after he brought the woman out of the man. But before the woman came, God gave man work to do. It is the work the man was doing that the woman came to support, was created to support. So the major problem we have is visionless men that goes alongside with other women who...
Visionless men.
Okay.
Visionless men.
Is it?
Yeah.
So visionless men who does not really also have women who are supporters or who are not also humble enough to receive something which is a leadership grace from a woman. So the point here is that God created a man to manage the garden and brought the woman to support the man to fulfill that particular mandate he gave to a man. When a man sees a woman and decide to go take the lady to school, almost 80% of those women don't end up marrying those men.
Almost 80%?
Almost 80%.
That's huge.
And the reason is because by the time they go to school and they are done, they get exposed to diverse kinds of people who doesn't know who is the brain behind, you know, their growth, their beauty, their academic stuff. They don't know. You know, so it's quite different. And most time, because men are naturally responsible, they do all kinds of, we kind of treat so, nkrutu juma. Nkrutu. Have you ever gone to see, how many women have you seen them doing wala to walasa?
No.
That's the point. You understand? But the man can go and do it and get 150 Ghana cedi and go and give it to a woman the same night. Not based on the fact that he wants sex, but because he loves the person. You know, so what she is, Rev is, Doc is talking about, I believe there's an iota of truth because it's a two sides stuff. However, if you check the numbers, the men rather invest more into women that they end up being dumped.
But that's the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, that's fine. I don't know. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, and also, I also feel like God does not give us what we wish, even in relationship. He gives us what we can manage.
Okay.
And most people lack the ability to manage in relationship. Connection with the question you asked before, when things happen because of peer group pressure, and my friend is doing this, my brother is doing this. You know, this my relative that just got married, the husband has even bought a car. Those things is what literally puts so much pressure on relationship and marriage in general. But you see, you don't have to compare. Immediately you compare, you compete. Okay? You have to sit down properly and find out in totality what is it that we have? What is it that we can do with what we have? How do we manage what we have? How much do we have? Which one is for this? Which one is for this? And which one is for that? Before God's favor comes and other people come and support, which be bonus, you must be able to discuss what you know is a normal routine of finances that come to the house.
Right.
You know, or come even to the relationship and have a conversation. But sometimes we, the men, we hide those things. We don't talk about it. The women, they hide the cry.
Yes,
especially when the men know that this woman is very materialistic, that she's not, if she doesn't, she isn't supposed to have the iota of this and that some money has come. Immediately, something must happen to anybody in the family.
Okay, Apostle. All right.
That you must hide something from.
A woman?
A woman like that, you have to hide your money from. Before she render you broke.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true, though. Well, we've been joined by Reverend Daniel Annan. Hi, Rev. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Today is not our regular, 2:1. We're having a 3:1, kind of conversation. And Tamawa Ferry. Yeah, Rev. Wampa.
A gentleman.
So, Rev, we are talking about balancing financial responsibilities between married couples. And I asked the question of, during courtship, how should that conversation even start before you decide to get married to that spouse of yours?
You see, good morning to your cherished viewers. In fact, whenever you talk about finances, it must thrive on these things. One, principles. Anytime you want to talk about finances, principles must work. Which principle are you operating on? Is it full disclosure, non-disclosure, or partial disclosure? So if we are getting married and we have built trust that we want to build it together, then we know that we are going for full disclosure. Then we plan. Then the principles of planning will come in. But the danger in it is that when you are in preparation towards marriage, commitment could be something. Because the marriage is not full yet. So you have to ask yourself, should the person back out? What will be my situation? So as much as you are doing that, open another door. So that if it doesn't work, because I've seen somebody who has built a house for the person and it didn't work. Yeah, it happens. Because you see, you are not married yet. There's nothing binding him or her to you.
That's true.
So as much as that you are doing the planning, think about that also.
Okay.
So finances thrive on principles. So you must understand the principles. The next second thing that you need to ask yourself, that if I'm planning finances, do I have a results-oriented mind? In everything that you do, you must be results-oriented. You are working right now.
Yes.
You must check everything, whether I am building up or I'm stagnating or retrogressing. So have the results-oriented mind so that whatever you are putting in, you must look at it not in terms of downward expenditure, something that is unnecessary. Because you are results-oriented, we want these things to be achieved.
Yeah.
We want to get a decent house for us to stay in when we get married.
Yeah.
So what is it? Let's see people who are in mortgage, if our finances could afford. What is the contractual agreement between us and the one who is offering the mortgage, it should be the both of us, not one person's name. So should anything happen, when we marry, it's for both of us.
Okay.
So we must be results-oriented in whatever you are thinking concerning finance. Finance doesn't just no. Finances always have an avenue that it thrives. The third one you need to look at is whether you are being reproductive. Whether you are reproductive, whether you are reproducing something. Because finances go, there should be something that replaces.
Yeah.
I've seen in most women, when they are about to marry, they lose their capital.
Yeah, because everybody is super ecstatic about the marriage, and so we are paying for this, we are buying that, and I remember.
And you ask yourself, most women, they lose everything.
Yeah.
Most especially those who are on their own, working on their own.
Yeah.
They lose everything. Ask yourself, when you get married, what do you take home? Only your Bible. That is all. All the others, we are doing it for people. So let's ask ourselves.
That is the wedding ceremony.
Wedding ceremony, you only take, even the wedding, you take only your ring and the Bible. That's the only thing that comes to you.
Yeah.
All the others, we did it for people. So why would I spend so much on people that at the end, I have nothing? You must be wise.
Yeah.
We should not always see marriage as an end. It's a beginning of a journey. So why do you spend everything? I did not have any refreshment. It was only one rock bands and Sprite.
Oh, at your wedding?
Yes. Myself and my wife. I saw Obia coffee. So you see, and I started practicing this at church.
Okay.
No refreshment. Did you answer Waba? Why? Because you see, they are going to, you don't know me, they are going to spend huge sums of money.
Yeah.
Why?
Paying for 300 heads, 500 heads, 1,000 heads, for a lot of people that you might not even know.
So why do you do that? Okay. What is it for? Why are you stressing yourself like that?
Okay.
So I tell them, one woman, bridesmaid, and asa two.
Not the whole bridal
I mean, I don't need, you see, if the church doesn't really begin to change the discussion, you see, there are some people, we the church, we need to set the tone.
Right.
There are people they can afford.
Yes.
No matter what, they can afford. And they can afford in excess. Yes, fine. But there should not be that issue that it becomes detrimental to others who are prospective. And when one person does this, then they want to copy. Like Rev said, comparison brings competition.
That's true.
Instead of looking at complementing, the marriage is complementing, not competition. What are you in competition with? So you see, when we begin to do that, we'll cut off so many expenditures so that they will be safe. Okay, Reverend. All right, so Reverend Nanayaa, you want to say something, but we have some messages. I want to read a few, then I'll take Reverend Nanaya's thoughts on what Reverend Daniel was saying. So we have good morning. Please, I want to find out if my partner falls in the stingy category. He doesn't give me anything in particular as in gifts, but he makes sure to do the little things for the people around me. Example, he gives my mom gifts or money when it's occasions or festivities, and sometimes my siblings. He doesn't give me money though, but when it's time for me to pay rent, he helps by taking care of the greater part. He doesn't shower me with gifts, and that I know. He doesn't know how to do it. But we are planning our marriage, yet I get scared at times whether to go ahead. We are both working, but he earns more than I do. He's at the private sector and I at the public sector. Please ask for me. I need help. So this young woman wants to find out if her partner falls in the category of being stingy. Reverend Nanayaa, before I continue with the other messages, I want you to share what you wanted to say pertaining to what Reverend Daniel was saying, then we can address this one.
Thank you. I want to ask a general question.
Okay.
Is marriage a business?
Ooh.
Is it a business?
Ooh.
It's not a business.
It's not.
So why do you go and borrow money to marry?
This is a big issue.
How do you go and borrow and you finish the wedding, the next day the caterer is calling you, the decor person is calling you, the driver who drove you, the car you went to rent, everyone is calling you. And that is the beginning of the problems in the marriage.
Yeah.
So you go into the marriage and you are already in debt. Cut your coat according to your size. There are people who have built good relationships, lasting relationships, wealthy relationships. So when they want to get married, Akosia has taken the cost of the decor. Amma has taken the cost of the food.
That's true.
Your pastor has taken the cost of the cake because of the relationships you are building. So you will not be sitting there. You don't go to people's weddings. You don't go to funerals. You don't associate yourself with anyone. You have no social life because I'm a private person.
Reverend Danny is fighting at me. Reverend, why are you fighting at me?
You have to go to when
Nanayaa, you see what you are.
When chiefs gather, you must go there. You know, so what I'm driving at is, you need the book of Genesis chapter 8 verse 22, which is my most favorite scripture. That so far as the heavens and the earth remain, seed time and harvest shall never cease. You will reap. If you don't reap, your children will come and reap, or your grandchildren will come and reap. So if people are sorrowing or rejoicing, and it is not part of your life, because you are a private person, you don't go to funerals, you don't go to weddings, engagements, outdoors, because you're a private person. Now, when is your turn? Whose door are you going to knock at? So when you think you're going to use your own money to do everything, you may not be able to marry. Because that money is not there. You are a driver, you are being paid 1,000 cedis a month, your marriage is 20,000 cedis. The money is not there. It doesn't mean you cannot marry. But so what I advise now is when you are we are doing the marriage, just bring water, drink, and something in a pack. Right at the church premises.
When everybody's leaving,
you give them a pack and you cut the cake at the church.
Simple. And that's it.
And that's it. You are done.
I even want to say something.
So that's that added cost. Even the traditional marriage. Now, we are able to bless the wedding at the traditional marriage. The pastor is there. The agent from the municipality is there. You sign. The pastor can even make you sign the book from the church. Get your certificate right there.
Without you even having to pay a lot of money to do white wedding and all of that.
You can even do the white wedding at the you can just change.
I think that
and cut the cake.
What we are talking about is very, very important.
Very.
And the church has deceived many people. Because all this wedding the church talk about is not in the Bible. When Jesus went in John chapter 2, Jesus went to that wedding. There was nothing that was spoken about wedding gown, whatever. There was drink there, yes. We didn't even.
You were wearing kente like this.
We didn't even hear about food, but we heard there was a drink there. The finishing of the drink is what they asked for. More. What I'm trying to say is that every marriage is culture specific and family specific, but blessing is from the kingdom perspective or religious perspective or church. Let me just make it church. So when it's come to marriage, it has nothing to do with church itself. The church aspect comes in when the pastor stands on behalf of the Lord and blesses the two people that the family has agreed they should be together.
Even with that, I'm sorry to cut you off, Apostle. Even with that, I know somebody who believes that when the fathers of both of them is to bless the marriage, there's even no need for your pastor to come and stand into
that one. I disagree.
So one of the things is that there is a fatherly blessing and there is a spiritual father blessing. You cannot negate that fact. So what papa ye come for? no waka kwaji wa ware na we Christiania. You are saying say konfona waka say nyame nshira wo no, it is enough. No. Any nyame nshira wo no, it depends upon the kind of nyame a oka wase.
That's true.
So if you serve the living God, who is the creator of the heavens and the earth, I'm talking about, and I have accepted Jesus as your Lord and your personal Savior, or Yeshua HaMashiach, or however name people ascribe him to. I just want to feel strongly that you need to be prayed for, and the blessings of the Lord must come upon your family.
Yes.
However, I feel strongly that the misconception and the deception I am talking about was propagated based on religious systems.
Traditions of men.
And most importantly, an exported system from another man's country. All this wedding gown.
The white wedding.
White wedding. Even the ring we wear, it's not marriage.
Oh.
There's nowhere in the Bible that if you get married, you have to wear a ring, exchange a ring. There's nowhere in the Bible that when you get married, you should even give a Bible to your wife or your husband. Because most of the Bible, they don't even read it. Anyway, that's a story for another time. You know.
They don't read it because it's always new.
No, yeah.
Souvenir.
So my point here is, I think we need to wake up as Africans. And change the system to suit our culture based on the scriptures. We need to change it. Number one, if you go to somebody's family to go and marry the person, and then they give you a list. Don't go and carry 7 of your friends wearing clothes and they are playing music and they are dancing. And some of them, you have to buy the cloth for them because they will tell you, I can't afford it.
That's true.
What is the sense in that?
Yes.
Do you know deal with you? Like you won't get anything. Literally.
Extra.
And also, then some of them you have to even transport them. You have to feed them. You have to accommodate them. And a man you want to go and marry, about 7 men are following you. What is wrong with you? I mean, what are you going to get out of that? Wastage, okay, is something Jesus fought against. Even when he turned 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread and fed 5,000 people minus women and children, he still said, gather the remaining, gather the crumbs. Why? Because in God's calendar, waste can be a potential sin.
Okay.
Because others are looking for something.
Okay.
So even if you have a lot of money, you must cut things up.
That's true.
And I want to say this also. So white wedding is not marriage. Even going to court to sign is not marriage. It only becomes marriage when the 2 families come together and agree. That is our culture. And we should not impose those kind of American and UK culture, Western culture on us. This is our culture. And our you see, we learn blindly.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't make sense. Mommy, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You think about it. So I have come to see your family people.
Yeah.
They have accepted and they said, if I bring this water, okay, you are my wife.
Yes.
And I brought the water.
So I'm now your wife.
You are in fact, you are. So if my pastor is there, okay, Rev is my pastor, and then he comes and then pray for both of us. Guess what? We are married.
And that's it.
The next thing we have to do is to go to church, and then our pastor now introduce us to the congregation.
Celebrate.
That's all. Okay, and bring us to the front. The church people stretch their hands towards us, and then we pray. We've done this several times in our church.
Okay.
Then you kneel down, we pray for you. And possibly we can dance with you. After I take my wife home, we start building our family. That is what I feel it is.
All right, so this is getting very interesting in here. We are talking about balancing financial responsibilities in marriage. We started talking from the courtship stage. We have a number of messages, so let's read them. I'm Nanayaa from Kumasi. I think ladies of today must understand that to make right decisions, so they must understand that we are the head of the house. But it may be like 1 or 2 things we might be going through, so they should support. Even in the Bible, women are our helpers. Actually, I like the message from Apostle Income. He's saying the apostle truth. Okay, good morning. Please, some women are becoming liability in a relationship. This is from Asari from Adenta. It says, the moment they get hold of you, they put all their problems on you, the man. Asari, thank you for that message. Let's take some more so that Reverend Nanayaa can say what she wanted to say. You can continue sending in your messages. Our Facebook page is Joy Prime TV. Send your message and I will definitely read them. Moving on, men are very stingy in relationship most. They don't want the woman to see their money or the amount of their salary from Bernice. Okay.
So that they want to know so they can waste it.
They can finish. Okay, let's take some more messages.
What do you want to know for?
Women in relationships usually are stingy. It's like the man is the only one expected to provide, and yet they are supposed to be equal partners. Recently, a lady called me asking for Christmas and New Year gift. When I asked her to go take some items for me, she said she needed lorry fare. She couldn't even use her own money for fare, but we, the guys, are expected to give without anything in return.
You know, as I said,
yeah.
I don't know why two people who meet and love each other should have a problem.
Yeah.
I sometimes I wonder why. And where is the problem coming from?
Attitude.
And I believe that because we are all coming from different backgrounds and we meet and we fall in love. So we have to work on each other. The things that you were brought up with are not the same things I was brought up with.
That's true.
You had maid servants in your house. Even your shoes, you never buckled your shoe before. Everything is done for you. Now you have come to marry a busy man who is unable to spend 10 minutes with you in the morning before he goes to work. So now you don't know how to buckle your shoes. And then you think the problem is your husband. No. The problem is not your husband. The problem is you.
You.
Because you were not brought up with that opportunity and you haven't noticed that you need to upgrade yourself to come to the place where you can take care of yourself. You see, I want to address the issue that Apostle talked about when people are getting married and they have a trail of ladies.
Bridal train,
I do not see anything wrong with it if they are able to cater for their own expenses. That's what I'm saying. Build good relationships.
Yes.
Maybe you have, maybe you are both adults and now you want to get married or you want to seal the relationship. And so you have adult children. And now when you are getting married, you want your children to be part of the marriage. There is nothing wrong with dressing up your adult children to be in the train with you. There is nothing wrong with that if you can afford it. But the problem comes in, I didn't know so IFA. So when it is once in your lifetime. So if you are able to save your money towards that and enjoy it, it is beautiful. There is nothing wrong with that. But it should not be the yardstick for love. I have people calling me, Reverend, I want to get married to this, my beautiful girlfriend, but the kind of wedding she has, that is why we are still not married. So I have to talk to the girls. I'm talking to the young ladies. Do you want a good marriage and a peaceful marriage, or you want a flamboyant marriage with problems? You see, I think that it is time for women to understand that if the man is a responsible man and he's advising you, you must listen to him. Don't expect him to go and borrow money or go around and asking for too many favors from people. They will laugh at him. Also, you understand? And the shame is not going on just the man, it's coming on you as well. So just do things. People can help you because of the relationships you have built. And if you don't want to invest in other people, no one must be investing in you.
Okay. All right. And so interesting submission so far. Now, we are coming to the point we're going to talk about. Now, the courtship is over. We are married. Now, the financial responsibilities. Who's supposed to do what? Who's supposed to take care of what? How should it be? Reverend Daniel.
It's the responsibility of taking care of the home lies on the bosom of a man. Obama, Ufifi.
Okay.
But you see, in life, remember that the woman, you are a suitable helper or helpmate. So this is what should guide us. 1, balance. 2, working on the principles of financial management. What I always teach people is apply the 60-20-20 principle in every home. Whether you have agreed to go, we are married, whether you have agreed to go full disclosure, partial disclosure, or non-disclosure. If I say full disclosure, it means all my earnings or my income is open to you. Both, I mean, the man and the woman, we are open in the transparency of our finances. That's what we call full disclosure. The partial disclosure is where we know we have expenses to be met.
Okay.
So we share it.
Yeah.
So not necessarily knowing my income, but I contribute to the expenditure or the responsibility. So that one, they have a shared responsibility they are contributing towards. And the non-disclosure, when nobody even discloses anything.
You keep it to yourself.
You keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So I always subscribe to full disclosure. That's what has worked for me. From the very day we got married, in fact, we built on trust. So our finances are open. She is a better manager of expenses than myself. So most of the things, I will let her rather do it. Let us look at the strengths of people and make best out of it. The principle I talked about is that 60-20-20 is that in all that you get, spend 60.
Okay.
Spend 60. Whether recurrent expenditure or whatever, spend 60. 20 is for savings, for eventualities. And 20% is for investments. When I talk about investment, it could be, nowadays, we are people very skeptical about investments in Ghana. But
I think last week, Apostle Inkum made a few suggestions as to how to go about
you should.
Yeah.
You know, do you know when I started saving? I started saving 40 years ago, when I was secondary school.
Okay.
And it has been my habit. And I've worked for it. So it's not something I'm just telling you. I practice it because it works. When you look into the Bible, when there was an impended famine to come, what was the principle of Joseph? Save 20%. 20% in 7 years, save the whole empire and the then known world. So you must adopt a certain principle and be intentional and deliberate. That if any expenditure, impulse expenditure come, you don't. So that you keep it. Out of the 20% investment, you could cultivate it or change it to be maybe an housing something or something you could do in future. As for the savings, it's there. Eventualities come, then we can have it. You see, your salary will never be enough.
Never.
Never.
Yeah.
But if you don't become intentional and deliberate, you will never be able to manage your finance well. Because every time something is coming, one of the things I want to let people know, learn to say no. Learn to say no. It's not evil. You see, there are some people, they will always be parasites. they are some parasites.
Leeching.
Yes.
Leeches.
Say no.
Yeah.
So tell the person, I can't.
Yeah.
So that you'll be able to save yourself. I quite often tell people, you see, when somebody is in a pit and you are up, who is stronger?
Reverend Daniel, when you say you have to learn to say no, maybe as part of your financial responsibilities, you have your mother or your father to be taken care of, who are quite old. You have other siblings that you have to add to your financial responsibilities.
You can't do it all. That's what I'm saying. When somebody is up and somebody is down, the one who is down is stronger than you. There's the possibility it can pull you into the pit. So what do you have to do? Save yourself, then you can save them. So what do? Save yourself by building your financial capacity and capabilities so that you'll be able to extend help to them.
Okay.
Now, for instance, all that you are receiving is going. I tell people.
Yeah.
I tell people in my church that if should you be fired, in 3 months you cannot take care of yourself, begin to wail. Yes. So it was a CIA, you are the.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
As a church, if the organization decides to fire me, I must be able to take care of myself at least 1 year. So if everything that comes goes,
it's going. Yeah.
And you have nothing.
Yeah.
When any eventuality happens, you are sick or accident or something happens, who will take care of you?
All right, Reverend Danny, I want you to hold our thoughts. Apostle Lincoln, I want to come to you. Last week, you mentioned something that I even discussed it with a friend of mine, that you did mention that as married couples, you have to take into consideration when it comes to saving your money or putting your monies aside, 3 things that you have to do. You individually, you have your own saving account, and then the last one is you put in monies away for eventualities, you know, and even Reverend Dr. Nanayaa came in and said that it even has to be 4. So
I said it.
Okay, you said the 4, and then investments, and then you said the 3. So can you please elaborate on that for our viewers?
I think that when it comes to investment, is a highway for financial security, not even savings. If the savings is not towards investment, it's wastage.
Okay.
Yeah. If the savings is not towards investment, it's wastage.
Okay.
Managing life is savings. Building a wealthy life is investment. Rich people, their money work for them, not their strength.
Yeah.
So what we do now, it's my own general perspective. I like Rev 60 for 2020 principle. It's a beautiful one. But I think for me, I feel like if I am doing something and I am paid, my wife is doing something and she's paid, and I'm paid 1,000 cedis, my wife is paid maybe 60 cedis. Okay.
600 or 60?
Oh, my own is...
Yours is 1,000. Mine should be 60.
Oh, no, sorry. Yours is 600.
600. Now you are talking.
600 cedis, okay.
Yeah, I would do. So, I feel in that manner, I have not been able to give it a percentage, but I will say that 50% will be out of the money, specifically for expenditure.
50% of your money, or when you combine both?
Of my money.
Okay.
And 50% of her money. Okay. Then she can also decide. That is the one for expenditure.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what you do. It's not what you make that makes you. It's God that makes you.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So some people can get 10,000 Ghana cedi a month, and it will not even be 2 weeks, it will be gone. And somebody can make 1,200 and you will still have a change. So it's not what we make, it's how we manage. So first of all, 50% for expenditure. I feel like 20% out of the 100% should go into investment. It seems huge, but it might be potentially nothing. If I make 10,000 and I take 2,000 out of it, if I can manage 10,000, then I can potentially manage 8,000 by becoming frugal. Okay? Then, let's say 20% for savings. Or, you know, I said 50% for expenditure.
Yeah, so 50% is already out.
Yes.
And 10% for tithe is also out.
10% for tithe is out. So maybe that 10% will be for savings. Okay. I'm speaking from a general perspective.
Yeah.
That is why I did not bring exact, precise kingdom principle.
Okay.
Maybe it would have been different.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So I'm just saying that when we do it that way, what happens is that it gives you a sense of the fact that there is something that you have. For example, I saw somebody did something. They call it money seed or whatever. Okay. And then I went to buy for the first time. I saw it. I was, wow, really? So somebody can make that money. Then this money, if I even do it 1 cedi, 2 cedi, whatever, it can pay the children's 1 term school fees. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, susu. Then I just put it in my room. Okay. And strangely, I see that I am obeying that principle. This is not part of my normal savings and my normal investment. Okay. And I realize that my bills are the same, but by the grace of God, I'm able to take care of it.
Right.
Do you understand? Yeah. But there are people, they are suffering from 3 things. One is impulse buying.
Impulsive buying.
Impulse buying. And impulse buying is whatever they see.
They want to have.
You know, you look so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then they see your hair. Yeah. They see the things on your. Tell me, where did you buy it from? Where did you buy it? Yeah. It's not planned.
Yes.
But they do it.
Yeah.
Now, impulse buying comes when budget is not clear. When budget is not clear. So you have to set a very powerful budget system. Now, this is what people call stingy. It's not stinginess. No rich person live carelessly and even wear expensive things in terms of their investment.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. So if you see any rich person, it's poor people that want to make impression. Believe me, people who are watching me right now, they know.
Yeah.
Because a rich man knows that, okay, if I wear this t-shirt, everyone knows who I am.
Yeah.
But they are putting their money in buying a land. They are putting their money in trying to get a house. They are putting their money in some forest trading. I mean, I'm not saying go and trade forest. I'm just saying that if you're an expert and you can trade, you trade not even being greedy, but small. And also the other money that God will touch somebody's heart, you know. See, Reverend says something that I love. People don't know that our greatest wealth is not in our labor or the work we do. It's in the relationships we have built. And I'm telling you that, as we're seeing here, you can get 100,000 Ghana cedi from somebody you have a relationship with. Yeah. That this work you are doing, that is making you look glamorous, would never provide for you.
That's true.
So relationship is the now currency.
Yeah. Oh, we are pressed for time, but I have to read a couple of messages so we can get running. Let's see if what messages we have. Okay, so we have some messages from Facebook. Kwaku Watson says, all these problems in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, marriages and ceremonies are mostly the fault of the girls in front of the class. Emmanuel says, I have a question. If a woman earns more than the man, is she expected to do more in the relationship or not? This is a very interesting one. Emmanuel again says,
it's
for me,
it's not interesting.
So straight away, what's the answer?
You have to.
Yes.
Because you are support.
Yes.
You have to.
Okay.
What is good for the goose
is good for the gander. Emmanuel says, for me, the church is not necessary because once the both parents have approved it, you guys are good to go. So it means the church marriage, which is the white wedding. Right, okay. So these are a few messages that we picked up in relation to this particular story, but it's been so interesting. It's been lovely having you here, and all of you who sent your messages, thank you so much for your messages. And we hope that you have learned a lot as well. But let's take a few more because the messages keep on coming, and I don't want to, end up doing some of you bad, and then you end up crying on me that I didn't read your messages. So let's see what we have here. If you can have them quickly so we can read them because it's almost time for us to go. Okay, all right. Rev, I want final submission.
Yes, final submission, I want to say the marriage has a market. Study the market and properly enter into the market.
You say that often, You say
it's all about packaging.
Package yourself very well.
There's a market for marriage.
Okay.
Properly prepare yourself. Enter into the marriage market. Be relevant on the market.
Right.
And you get the catch.
Okay. Reverend Nanayaa.
I love that one. So what I'll add to that is packaging and location. Because I have said here before that if you're looking for fish, you don't go to the mountains, you go to the ocean.
Yeah.
If you are looking for snakes, you don't go to the ocean, you go on the mountains to get your snakes. So what are you looking for? What type of woman are you looking for? What type of man are you looking for? So I told you once that I respect those ladies who go and buy one Fanta for 40 cedis at Kempinski and stay there for 10 hours. Because they know if the man doesn't have money, he cannot come to Kempinski. So even they,
Is it the marketing?
So even they know that they know that location is
Very important.
is ideal.
Yes.
She will not go and spend 45 cedis or 40 cedis and buy one bottle of Fanta and sit at Kempinski for nothing.
That's true.
She knows that fish is coming to the ocean.
Yes.
So you too, what type of man are you looking for? What type of woman are you looking for? You are going to a church that has 10 members for 10 years. And you don't go to any program anywhere. When Apostle Lindum is doing a program, you won't go. Osopodan is doing a program, you go. When ABC invites you, you don't come. So you are stuck with that church, 10 people for 10 years. Who is going to marry you in that church?
Okay, so let's take some more messages. Good morning. You are doing good to every African listening to you. By the grace, I am an apostle of God. I have started blessing marriages in my office, and many are enjoying it. Thanks a lot. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, in fact, I'm enjoying your talks. I'm Grace. Please, Apostle Inkum said marriage has nothing to do with church. Meanwhile, some churches always take people marriage as topic anytime they have church service. Okay. Next one. Some men, if you don't ask them for money, they will never give you money. That is why we ask them for it. Sometimes I think the men to enjoy.
You need to clarify that statement.
Yeah.
The one that Osofo said that marriage has nothing to do with church, he's talking about families. Marriage is about the family.
I said it's about the two. I said that one. That is about the two families and God.
Yeah. Apostle mentioned this. Let me read it. I love what Apostle is saying. This has been my thought since childhood, but my mom always likes those fancy weddings. Apostle, please, what is the name of your church? I must attend. God bless you, Daddy. I'm Nanayaa from Sunyani. Love you guys. Again, I think this program must be on this topic every day if possible. I love what I'm hearing. Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay, good morning. This one says, good morning, I'm really enjoying this section of your show. I'm a woman, but I still wonder why women want their boyfriends or husbands to be solely responsible for their finances. And again, I wish this conversation would be done again. Wedding is not the end of marriage, but the beginning. So why would you borrow to make your wedding talk of the town or something like that and go home to have sleepless nights because of debts only? You and not the people around you will pay. Mami Yebwa. Okay, so that's it for the messages this morning on Let's Talk Relationship.